Hey, happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're all having an amazing day so far, preparing for the weekend. There's a lot of great things to talk about right now between what's been going on between Kathleen Kennedy, George Lucas, and even the Star Wars fandom intact, as well as the Indiana Jones fans that have been preparing for what's going to happen with the box office results for Indiana Jones 5, The Dial of Destiny. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support, and let's get right into the subject. Now, we know that Kathleen Kennedy has been endlessly promoting Indiana Jones 5, Skeleton Crew, and The Acolyte. Alright, so those two shows are all about Star Wars that has been going through a lot of issues behind closed doors with the budgeting, with the marketing restraints, or should I say constraints, and what's going on also with her role at Lucasfilm and how her job is on the line, all because of Indy 5, The Dial of Destiny. Now, we're going to be talking about that separately, about what she's trying to do with Frank Marshall, her husband, to kind of pull some strings to really kind of keep her job at Lucasfilm. She's very desperate right now, but we'll talk about that later. Now, what's interesting about this, though, in particular, goes to show you how defensive Kathleen Kennedy has been getting after the Indy 5 world premiere in Hollywood just 2 nights ago. So what's interesting on top of all of this, alright, is that Kathleen Kennedy went on to address the quote-unquote fan boycott of Indy 5, where essentially a lot of fans are refusing to even pay for a ticket of this film, how they don't want to go ahead and see this movie, etc., etc. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy promoting Indy 5, The Dial of Destiny, still to this day, she recently had some comments to make involving the recognition of fans refusing to pay for a ticket for this movie again. Now, Kennedy went on to deliver the following: "The problem during this day and age is that many fans are led to believe that we are ruining their childhoods by mistreating their characters in their movies, and for the so-called fans to refuse to see a movie with that mindset perhaps shouldn't even see this movie at all. These are simply not fans, because real fans would at least give this film a chance, see it, and then judge it. James put so much hard work into this fine piece of art that it would be an insult for fans to not at least check it out." Now, guys, before I get to the next thing, basically what that translates to is, we think we're going to lose a lot of money on Indy 5, so pay us a ticket, please. Pay a ticket for us so that we can actually make money on this movie. That's basically what she's saying. Let's be very blunt and honest here. But moving on, it doesn't stop there. She goes on to elaborate further. "This trend nowadays of fans sitting at home and watching films at home instead of buying a ticket to go out to the theaters is quite rebellious an attitude that's not needed to this community. It pains me to see the creators like James Mangold having to go through this phase, witnessing fans refusing to see his film, all because some fans are led to believe other fans that we ruin their childhoods with this movie, much like what happened with the Han Solo film." So again, she is kind of, from what it sounds like, very scarred from what happened to the Han Solo movie, because a lot of fans refused to go ahead and see that film. You guys may recall there was a boycott with that movie as well, and Bob Iger blamed it on a fan frequency problem, where he believed that it was because it came out way too soon after The Last Jedi. No, it was because fans were completely burnt out on what happened with Episode 8 by Rian Johnson, that they just did not want to go ahead and see a Star Wars movie. And also on top of that, let's be honest, who was really asking for a Han Solo movie at the time, let alone portrayed by somebody else other than Harrison Ford? Not a lot of people. Now, will I say it was an entertaining film? Absolutely, at best, but it's not something that we were essentially asking for or begging for. Let's just put it that way. Now, on top of this, she goes on to state further, all because we are focusing on a new star in this film, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who, by the way, is excellent. She really is the shine of this film. I think it says a lot when fans of this franchise can't and refuse to adapt to new characters that lead the way of their favorites is quite childish, and quite frankly, this is a mindset that needs to be changed. As a producer and as president of Lucasfilm, it's my job to do the best possible to create that balance. We wanted a new vision. We needed to move away from Lucas's vision to embrace a new story to tell, and if fans don't approve of that, then I think that just goes to show you the problem that we are dealing with audiences today. Real fans would at least see this film and judge it after, rather than not seeing it at all. Guys, I can't stress this enough, but it really comes across like Kathleen Kennedy is very desperate to get fans to go into the theaters and purchase a ticket. Does she not realize that we're living in a day and age where inflation is at an all-time high, where people might have large families to go ahead and see these films? Maybe people don't want to purchase a ticket, or multiple tickets, let alone all these different drinks and food at the movie theater that would essentially run them up to like $200 if they have a large family. There's not a lot of people that want to do that if they have a large family, so I don't think that she's taking that into account. And she's kind of just living in that Hollywood bubble where everyone's rich and just kind of looking at us as this train of numbers to come in. That's how at least I translate it. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I see it. You know, she's not all that personable, she's not looking at the economy, she's not looking at people and what their day-to-day lives are really like. So it just really kind of puts things in motion that she is getting very defensive. And guys, by the way, at the Indy 5 world premiere, she was really, really selfish, and I mean self-absorbed. On stage, they were essentially clapping for 3 people that were involved in the creation of Indiana Jones. First, it was, I believe, they mentioned, they went all the way back to George Lucas, then they mentioned Harrison Ford, and then they went on to basically announce John Williams. She clapped for Harrison Ford, she clapped for George Lucas, and she was expecting herself to get a standing ovation as the third person responsible for making Indiana Jones possible as a franchise. Then Steven Spielberg said, it's all about John Williams. She didn't even clap for John Williams. This is a real thing, the footage is everywhere, and I meant to talk about it a couple nights ago at the world premiere, but it is something that did happen. You have to look at it from the balcony view, where people were there, but it did actually happen. She stopped clapping, and that just goes to show you that she's so self-absorbed. She really is. The fact that also, and we pointed this out earlier, yesterday, Bob Iger and the Disney execs, they literally forced and twisted George Lucas's arm to attend the world premiere of Indy 5 to kind of give themselves a better image because he's the creator of Indiana Jones. They needed him there, and he did not want to go. So he really just did not want to go, but he was basically pressured to go because they were putting all this pressure on him that it was all up to George to kind of make this movie a success marketing-wise. And he looked so unhappy there. I mean, this guy did not crack a smile once, nor did he laugh, nor did he joke around. He just did not want to be there. It was grueling to watch. It really was. So anyways, I'm really intrigued to hear what you all have to say about what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy's view of the fans, the Indiana Jones franchise, and the Indy 5 quote-unquote boycott and how fans are not buying a ticket. So guys, drop a comment below, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.